If you're from Texas, make some noise. We're going to bring up one of your own, a resident badass, Amanda Williams, Executive Director of the Lilith Fund. Amanda Williams is a native Texan and Latina feminist activist from Houston. She's living in Austin now. After graduating from the University of Houston with a bachelor's degree in English literature in 2011, she worked for Planned Parenthood of Gulf Coast in public affairs until going back to school to get a master's in political social work. Amanda worked the 83rd Texas legislative session as a policy analyst for the Legislative Study Group in 2013 and went on to work for a federally qualified health center doing women's health advocacy and policy work. She was formerly the program manager of SHIFT, focusing on ending abortion stigma. We're going to bring up Amanda, represent for abortion funds.
Hello, everyone. Y'all are going to make me cry, and I haven't even started yet. As a Texan, this is truly a beautiful, beautiful sight. Thank you for being here. I'm so proud to be here on behalf of the Lilith Fund as our first ever executive director. As Yamani Hernandez said, we're a Texas-based member of the National Network of Abortion Funds, or as I like to call us, a national family of abortion funds. And every year, we hear from over 4,000 callers on our hotline from people in Texas who need an abortion but cannot afford it. We hear firsthand from those who are most impacted by this incredibly dangerous law that is designed, don't be fooled, to shut down clinics in Texas. The Lilith Fund is doing critical work in Texas alongside wonderful abortion funds all over our state. As abortion clinics are shutting down, as doctors are being painted as villains by our government, as abortions are becoming more and more out of reach, the people most affected are the ones seeking abortion. We connect those people with the resources they need to get abortions. And in places like Texas right now, that is a revolutionary act. The Lilith Fund and abortion funds help pay for abortions, and we do it proudly. Doing this work, I know personally how difficult it is to get a safe abortion in Texas. And so I know very well that those of us who are able to access a safe abortion are extremely fortunate. When I had an abortion, I was 19 years old and I was a college freshman. I was in an unhealthy relationship. And I knew the moment that I was pregnant, I was not ready or willing to become a parent. Though that was an easy decision for me, it was still a difficult and stressful moment in my life. I didn't tell my parents. My partner and I had to borrow money from others, and things in my relationship took a turn for the worst. Eventually, we were able to come up with the money to pay for an abortion, and I know that that is a privilege far too many are without. When I arrived at my appointment, I was overwhelmed by the kind support I received from clinic escorts, the clinic staff, and my provider, who all made me feel comfortable and safe, because that's what they do best. And after my abortion, I felt immediate relief. I felt like I could finally breathe again. The only regret I have about my experience is not telling my mother about it sooner. I was afraid that she would be disappointed in me, that I had let her down, or that I would seem different in her eyes. But when I finally told her the night after my abortion, she looked at me in the eyes and she said, "Mija, why didn't you tell me? I would have gone with you." Today, I'm here for her. I remember asking asking myself, why didn't I tell her? Why didn't I feel comfortable enough to tell my own mother what I was going through? And now, several years after my abortion, I can finally tell this story in front of all of you. And I finally understand that the answer to this question is because I was being held hostage by abortion stigma. Messages all around me told me that my decision to have an abortion was unacceptable, that I deserved to feel ashamed, scared, and alone. Anti-abortion laws like the Texas clinic abortion shutdown law enforces these messages. They tell us that if we need an abortion, we must first jump through medically unnecessary hoops that are designed to make us feel shame, fear, and isolation. They tell us that we're not worthy of acceptance, compassion, or understanding. We refuse to be sidelined or be treated as pawns in a high-stakes game by our anti-abortion government. We refuse. The people who suffer for it the most are the ones who call our hotlines. They are poor. They are people of color. They live in rural communities. They are facing documentation and language barriers. They're people with disabilities. They're LGBTQ people. They're Native, Indigenous, and they are worthy. They are worthy and deserving of the care they seek. Now repeat after me. We are all worthy.
We are all worthy.
We are not alone.
We are not alone.
And we should not be ashamed.
We should not be ashamed.
My abortion changed my life for the better. Saying this aloud feels like a radical act, but it shouldn't be. My experience brought me closer to my mother and encouraged me to dedicate my life and a career to a world where all people have the power and resources they need to lead the best lives for themselves, their families, and their communities. This is about reproductive justice, and this is about a world we all deserve. Thank you so much for listening to my story, and thank you for being here with Texas. Thank you so much.